I'm Pastor Salem, and I welcome you to the Christian Worship Hour. So glad you could be with us today. We've been thinking about you this week, and now here we are going to have a great time worshiping the Lord. And we're going to be talking about Joshua. Be strong, be of courage. And so maybe if you feel down in the mouth a little bit, or really not on top of it like you would like to be, we're going to look at Joshua, and he gives us some wonderful examples on how to live in a hard old world. Just to make that a good practice, because you do love the Lord. And you know something? If you don't love Jesus, you know why you don't love him? You don't know him. You don't know him. If you knew Jesus, you would trust him with your heart and soul, and you'd love him with all your might, with all your heart and soul and might. There's something about Jesus that as you get to know him and walk with him, he just gets to be a part of your life. And he is a most wonderful person. And someday we're going to see him face to face. So if you don't know about Jesus, you don't love Jesus, I hope that during the service today, and I'll tell you about accepting Jesus, and you just make that prayer. And he's not willing that any should perish. He doesn't want anybody in the whole world to go to hell. He tells us in the scriptures in Peter that he's not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So he wants you to come. He loves you. Well, our story today takes place with Joshua. Moses led the children of Israel out of Egypt, and across the Red Sea. Then when they came to the promised land, as I mentioned a minute ago, they didn't have the faith to enter in. And so God says, if you don't, without faith, it's impossible to please God. And so because you don't have faith, I'm going to put you out in the wilderness, and you're all going to die out in that wilderness, every last one of you, 20 years and over, and except Joshua and Caleb. And that's exactly what happened. And then at the end of that 40 years, Moses dies, and God takes him and buries his body on Mount Nebo. And the Jewish people have a saying, kind of like the rabbis, that God kissed his soul.